Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this week's episode of Dear Nero, the weekly Q&A here on the channel where subscribers send in questions and I answer them. It's a pretty simple process. Typically goes up every single Wednesday except when I miss a week, but last week was kind of fun because I brought my brother on and we did a bit of a dual Camos, like an hour-long Q&A, both of us answering questions. I was also being blindsided by questions. I had no idea what the questions were going to be, whereas this week's a bit more traditional. It's a normal Q&A, just me here. I'm the one that picked the questions off of Twitter, and I think we have some good ones here. Definitely pretty interesting questions, mostly involving COD, mostly involving the state of the Call of Duty franchise, but typically it's a pretty fun video that you guys like to just put on in the background while you work out or play video games or study or do whatever it is you do with Dear Nero. I've heard everything from people listen to it at work, people listen to it while walking, people listen to this series while they're driving, on their way to work, or doing whatever. So I'm happy to provide some quality background noise for you all, but let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Typically we start these off with a bit of a health update, a bit of a personal update. Haven't done one of these in a couple of weeks, but things have been going good. That's why I don't really discuss it too much anymore. It just, now we're normal again, I would say. According to the app on my phone, we just passed 90 days sober. That's been going good. Still exercising, still walking, still getting in shape. I'm actually down a lot of weight, which is good. I blew up like 20 pounds or something like that when I was drinking heavily. Because I was drinking 1,000 calories of beer every single day pretty much. And ever since I stopped that, slowly I started losing the weight. Now that it's been 3 months, I'm down about 20 pounds. I'm getting closer back to what I consider to be an ideal weight, which is good. I wasn't overweight by any stretch of the imagination. I'm about 6'3", and right now I'm like 205, something like that. But I was like 220, which was like by far the heaviest I've ever been. I've always been kind of a string bean almost, like kind of tall and skinny. And when I was drinking a bunch, I blew up to about 220. I didn't really look it because mostly just went to my gut. But yeah, definitely gained a lot of weight there. And now I'm losing most of that, down to about 205 now. And yeah, definitely pretty happy with it. Things have been going really good. So thank you guys all for the continued support and, just always having my back through everything pretty much. You guys have been absolutely incredible. I don't deserve you guys. I truly don't. But let's go ahead and jump into the questions for this week's episode. The first one is going to be coming in from Call Me Aimbot, who writes, Dear Nero, it's not just me, right? These incendiary grenades are ridiculous. Either they need to be a field upgrade or taken out. I spawn into white phosphorus every time and I can't see anything. Plus my lobby always crashes because too many people throw fire at once. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. We were doing challenges last night, which involved us going to play hardcore, and then we started trying some hardcore shipment. Let me tell you how, underneath all that fire is a pretty map, but I couldn't tell you because there's just fire literally everywhere in the game, man. It's actually nuts. And there's no counter. It's so tone deaf for them to add an incendiary grenade to Season 1 when the thermite was already so rampant. So now we have double the fire. There's fire everywhere. There's no counter to fire whatsoever. No perk, no field upgrade, no nothing. Nothing you can do to counter it, man. I miss the old days of Semtexes and frag grenades, for crying out loud. Now there's just fire everywhere 24/7. And I'm the one doing it too. It's one of those you can't beat them, join them kind of a thing, right? I mean, it's part of the game. Kind of like when Dead Drop was busted, you had to use Dead Drop because you were just putting yourself at a disadvantage if you weren't. I mean, not using meta weapons is one thing, but not using things like the incendiary grenades or not using Dead Drop, that's just silliness. So yeah, I definitely think that they should, I would love it, honestly, if they were just do an update where they'd be like, all right, guys, we messed up. We're taking out the incendiary grenades, both of them. And we're going to make the frag grenade actually the thing that people use. I mean, you look at that and then what's it called? The Gammon bomb? I forget what it's called. But when we're playing hardcore as well, people just aimlessly throw those instant impact grenades to get quad feeds 24/7. It's like, dude, nobody shoots their guns anymore. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, definitely not a fan of the incendiary grenades and the fire meta that we currently have within Call of Duty Vanguard. The next question is going to be coming in from Kareem, who writes, Dear Nero, how do you suggest enjoying multiplayer as a solo player? I find it very difficult to enjoy the game even when grinding camos this year, and I feel like it's because there is no good progression for players like me. So I agree with that. I do. I mean, again, right now, we're 45 days into the game's life cycle, and we cannot earn atomic camo. Not that I'm even all that close, but it's actually impossible to earn atomic camo. And then I open up Twitter today, and I see the senior software engineer saying, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks. See you guys in 2022. I'm like, oh my God. All right, that's fine. Yeah, have fun. Enjoy your holiday vacation. Enjoy the time with friends and family. But for the love of God, can you fix your game? That'd be sick. I would love that. So, how do I suggest enjoying it? I am somebody that actually does enjoy Vanguard. I think I come off as someone who just hates it. No, I play the game every day. That's where, it's literally my job. I'm a COD YouTuber, but I also enjoy the game. If I didn't enjoy the game, I would just do the Modern Warfare 2019 route where I just don't play really whatsoever. And my suggestion for playing the game and enjoying it is honestly to just not take it seriously, literally at all. Like if you have two monitors or something like that, or even like if you're just playing on a TV, like turn a podcast on, turn like Netflix on, your second thing, and then just go and grind. Like last night, I ended up, I was streaming like I always do, and then I ended stream because I just wasn't really feeling it. Hardcore was just like not fun to stream really because it's just camping. You have to get 100 long shots on like every single gun in the game, and the best way to do that is to go play hardcore like team deathmatch and then camp one of the two long-range sight lines on any given map, and then just sit there aiming down sights and getting like 8 kills a game. It's not fun to stream. So I ended stream, I ended up just doing a little bit off stream. And I found that when I was doing it off stream, I wasn't taking it so seriously because I wasn't like communicating with chat or paying attention or anything like that. I was just like chatting with my buddy in Discord while he was playing Hearthstone and just literally sitting in a window waiting for people to walk into my crosshair. And I actually found that mildly enjoyable because without like the chat happening, without the stream music, and without this, that, and the other thing, I could actually hear like the ambient audio, like the birds chirping in the game. And I got a little bit more into the game just actually listening to it and stuff like that, So my advice for enjoying multiplayer is to go for challenges and try to complete as many challenges as you can, because you're not going to be focused as much on like getting high kills or dropping atomic bombs, V2 rockets for the atomics. Or anything like that. You're just going to enjoy doing challenges and watching as, you level up and you hit your Prestige Master for the season and you do your seasonal challenges and things like that. So that's how I get by. That's what I do. I enjoy the aspect of like leveling up my guns, doing camo challenges for guns, doing the challenges that the game actually has. Like there's one for getting 1 minute on the hard point in 40 different games. I'm one game away from that, which will be nice. And so just what I do is I focus on challenges. I find that to be the most fun thing to do. The next question is going to be coming in from Reflex, who writes, Dear Nero, do you prefer Rebirth Island or Caldera? For me, it's Rebirth. So for me, definitely Caldera. Rebirth is fine because it's basically just Alcatraz from Blackout, but Caldera is actually awesome. Caldera has me actually enjoying Warzone, which I never thought that would be the case. Like, who would have thought just making a much better map and make it so you have to wait to get your loadouts makes the game more fun and more interesting. And for me, I've always been on the opposite end of Warzone compared to like everyone else. I see all these like big Twitch streamers and YouTubers and stuff talking about how much they hate Caldera. They hate the loadout changes, this, that, and the other thing. Whereas I love it. It feels more like an actual BR. Instead of people grabbing their loadout at the very beginning of the game and then hiding on a skyscraper the entire time, people are actually moving through the jungles on the island and stuff like that and pushing, and it's fun. Oh god, it's so much fun. And Rebirth Island's also fun because you have the wave respawns and stuff like that, which is also fun for Resurgence on Caldera. But overall, man, I am really enjoying Warzone this year. It's been so much fun. Definitely loving it. And I hope they don't give in to community pressure, and I hope they keep things exactly the way that they are. The next question is going to be coming in from Berserker, who writes, Dear Nero, I think it would be interesting if the dev studios switched up the universes of their games. Let's say Treyarch made a more modern game based on the war in the Middle East. Infinity Ward made a World War II game. That would be interesting. And Sledgehammer Games could do a Vietnam game. What are your thoughts? I think it's actually a good idea. I actually got a couple of questions regarding this week, and I think it would be interesting to get the devs out of their quote-unquote comfort zones, although I'm not sure how comfortable they are, given the fact that they're always on crunch 24/7 or on vacation, depending. But it would be interesting to see Infinity Ward do something that's not modern or futuristic. It would be interesting to see Treyarch do something that wasn't like, the only time they've ever like gone out of like World War II or Vietnam or Cold War or whatever is literally just Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. Well, I guess Black Ops 4. Never mind. They did 3 games. I guess I'm wrong about that. But in general, though, they did World at War, they did Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 was, like, mildly futuristic. They did Black Ops Cold War. It just, for some reason, like, you always picture Treyarch as being, like, in the past. But if you really think about it, I suppose, between Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and Black Ops 2, they have almost as many games, like, semi-futuristic or futuristic as they do back in the past. But it would be interesting to see, like, Infinity Ward do World War II, Treyarch do, like, a Modern Warfare-style game, and then Sledgehammer, they've done Modern Warfare 3, or at least they helped with it. and then they did Call of Duty World War II, then they did Vanguard, then they did Advanced Warfare, so they haven't really touched the Vietnam era game, really. They were trying to with Raven Software before Cold War came out, but obviously that didn't work out. So I think it would be interesting. I just don't see it happening anytime soon. The next question is going to be coming in from Baba Yaga, who writes, Dear Nero, if Activision would ever make a Call of Duty movie, which would you choose and which actors would you like to see as lead roles in the movie? I don't know too much about actors, honestly. I'm not the kind of person that would say, like, oh, this actor, like Norman Reedus should be this guy and Tom Hanks should be this guy. I don't really pay attention to that kind of thing. But I'm a sucker for World War II movies. So honestly, like the campaign for Vanguard, I think would make for a really cool movie. It's like, this is not a spoiler. It's like Expendables, but, in World War II with like all these crazy guys from all different parts of the world. I think that'd be interesting. I think World at War would make for a very interesting campaign because like the finale of that campaign is pretty nuts. Plus you have two different fronts in that movie and they could somehow work to tie those together. I'm not really interested at all in like modern day movies, like really whatsoever. But I think a World War II movie or a Vietnam movie based on like the Black Ops franchise would be really good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Because if they start off with like the very first movie, they should do like the entire like Black Ops timeline. They should start off in World at War because that's part of the Black Ops timeline with Reznov and everything, and then they can transition with sequels into Black Ops 1 and even Black Ops 2. I think that would actually be super cool. That'd make for a great movie, I think, or a great series of movies. They can make a really good trilogy out of that. The next question is gonna be coming in from Codename G, who writes, Dear Nero, what is your favorite franchise now that COD is shit and they don't care to fix it? Also, happy holidays. Hope you have a great time. Well, Codename G, I hope you have a great holiday season as well. I'm going to be very busy this Christmas, but it's going to be very fun as well. What's my favorite franchise now that COD is shit? I'd say overall COD is still my favorite franchise. I still play it daily and, obviously YouTube and Twitch and everything like that. But if we're going not COD, I think you guys know the answer. Fallout. Absolutely adore Fallout. I was just thinking today, man, like Fallout 5 is going to be great. We know nothing about it or where it's going to be or what it's going to have, but it's going to be great, isn't it? I'm so excited. Other franchises would be obviously the Warcraft franchise and Borderlands. I love those as well, but COD's always going to be COD for me. It's always near and dear to my heart. The next question is going to be coming in from Let's Game More, who writes, Dear Nero, what would you rather have return? Traditional prestige system or an in-game currency and contract system like we had in Black Ops 1 or Call of Duty World War II? That's a tough one. That really is. I had to think long and hard on this one, but the conclusion I've come to is I think it would be better, and definitely leave your thoughts and feedback on this down there in the comments, but I think an in-game currency and a contract system would be better because prestiging is important. It is fun. It is amazing. It is a staple in the Call of Duty franchise. But if we had like what we had back during Call of Duty World War II, where every single day you could go into the headquarters and you could go get your contracts or Major Howard, and you can go talk to the Thickmaster and, get weapon variants and things like that and blueprints from her and, do all these different challenges, like that added so much replay value to the game. Your daily challenges, your weekly challenges, the armory credits, saving up your armory credits because you know that another event is going to be coming out soon and you want to get all the DLC weapons right away. I really like that system. I thought that was really good. And while I love Prestige mode, I think a traditional Prestige system is absolutely necessary to the Call of Duty franchise. I would love to see something like the World War II Armory credit system return at some point in the near future. The next question is going to be coming in from Alex Parker, who writes, Dear Nero, as a multiplayer guy, what do you think is going to happen regarding the future of zombies? We went from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4's beauty and complexity to Cold War's easy mode and then Der Anfang. That's a horrible name. That's the name of the map, well, quote-unquote map that we have in Vanguard, if you guys don't know. Is it over for us zombie shills, or should we cling on to hope that Treyarch's 2023 release will redeem the mode? I am so sad for zombies fans, and I'm someone who made it his goal to do everything there is to do in Vanguard, and eventually I'm gonna have to get Dark Aether in Vanguard, and everyone that's an industry insider, all the leaks, all the rumors, all the everything, everyone is basically saying no, we don't think an actual traditional zombies map is coming to the game ever. To which I say, no, how can that possibly be possible? I'm holding on to hope that somehow they're going to have a traditional, dude, at this point, just bring back Shino Numa, Zombies Chronicles. That would be so insane. Bring back the World at War maps and, Kino and stuff like that from Black Ops 1. That would be fantastic. But right now, we just have nothing, and it's terrible. And I feel so bad for people that traditionally only like zombies, because now, you're just playing Black Ops 3 for another year. You're playing custom maps for another of the year, which are good. I love custom maps, but that just sucks, man. It just sucks. So I'm holding on to hope, fingers crossed, that they actually get this going and we do actually get some normal, traditional, round-based maps for zombies this year. Or we may have to just wait until Treyarch's next release. I don't know how it's going to play out, but dude, it sucks, and it sucks bad. The next question is coming in from Circus Clown, who writes, Dear Nero, what are some of your favorite songs of all time? I'm trying to give you something to answer other than COD. Also, have you played the Halo Infinite campaign? What did you think? Merry Christmas. Well, thank you, Circus Clown. Merry Christmas to you as well. I did not play the Halo Infinite campaign. I watched my friend Nate stream it a little bit, but I'm not super interested in like Halo's story or lore or anything. I didn't have an original Xbox way back when, and I never got into like Halo 1, Halo 2, or anything like that. So it's just one of those franchises that a lot of people love, and I'm happy that they're happy, but I never got into it myself, so I've not done that. But some of my favorite songs of all time, I'd say overall, I like a lot of oldies in like alternate country, I guess is what they call it. I don't know, but I'd say my favorite song of all time would probably be like Summer Wind by Frank Sinatra or Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin. Lucero is my favorite band of all time. I have several Lucero tattoos. I went and saw them live. It was fantastic. Some of my favorite songs from them would be like When I Was Young or My Best Girl. Or definitely some of the older stuff, like the Texas and Tennessee EP was fantastic, and all the older stuff that they've done. I like their newer stuff as well, but especially way back when, I think a lot of people liked Lucero. Another band I really enjoy would be Turnpike Troubadours. Some of my favorite songs from there would be 7 and 7, Good Lord Lori, The House Fire, Every Girl, Tower Childers is fantastic with Charleston Girl and Feathered Indians. In fact, why don't I just show you guys my Spotify Wrapped? There you go. As you can see, Young Gravy's definitely up there, because who doesn't love Young Gravy? He's fantastic. But if you look at like my top artists, like individual artists, like yeah, they consider that to be like alternate country, I guess. I don't know. I definitely listen to a lot of oldies and swing and stuff like that too, which is why swing is my number 2 category. But then again, that's not like one particular artist. It's not like I only listen to Frank Sinatra or Bobby Darin or Ella Fitzgerald or anything like that, Louis Armstrong. Like I listen to all of them, but I have like a mishmash playlist of like all sorts of different oldie style songs, and I basically put that on shuffle and listen to that throughout most of the day. So yeah, so those are my favorite individual artists and some of my favorite songs. And thank you for the question about music, because it's fun to answer stuff that's not COD related. But then again, most people like the Call of Duty questions that we do here on Dear Nero. The next question is coming in from Carl, who writes, Dear Nero, what is your opinion on how they made it way more annoying to unlock camos? So, Carl, the system this year is fundamentally broken, and I say that for a number of reasons. Number one is, okay, for example, like your level 50 camo challenges. It'll be like, okay, go get 100 headshots after you get your gun to weapon level 50. Go get 100 headshots using these 3 specific attachments. Oh, by the way, one of those attachments you don't unlock until level 69, even though it's a level 60 challenge. It's like they didn't test it. It's really annoying. But honestly, like that stuff doesn't bother me as much. Like, going out there and having to get headshots of certain things, or going to have to go get wall penetration kills or aim down sight kills or whatever. That's all not that bad. The biggest problem I have with the camo grind, like year after year, is long shots. Long shots is such an antiquated system. It does not make any sense in modern day COD. The Gewehr, for example, I showed this on my stream last night, but the Gewehr is one of my favorite guns in this game. I really enjoy it. I have over 1,000 kills with it, according to my combat record, although I'm very sus as to whether or not the combat record actually tracks things properly. Guess how many long shots I got naturally, just naturally, throughout my 1,000 kills with the Gewehr? Because the answer is 30. 30 of my 1,000 kills, 3% of my kills are actually long shots. That's obscene. Long shots do not just happen naturally. You have to go out of your way to get them. And it's a pain in the ass, because most of the maps in the game don't actually have like a normal sightline. Like some of them do, like Demiansk, that snowy map of the church, that's got some. Berlin's got some. Red Star, obviously. But most of the maps in the game, and I'm not even talking just shipment here, but just like most of the maps, like you on Radar, for example, there's like no good like sightlines on Radar for long shots. There just aren't. Numa, there are a few, but they're kind of like, they don't actually do anything. Like you're holding these sightlines that don't actually help you whatsoever in any game mode that you're playing. Like you're just camping a random area of the map, hoping that somebody walks into your sights, pretty much. And so what you're forced to do is go and play hardcore. And then, hardcore itself is a game mode that I would estimate is played by 0.5% of the player base. And the rest of the people that are in that mode are people that are there because they're forced to get long shots and do challenges and stuff. Like, I just hate it. I hate that they basically force you to go play hardcore and camp a sightline and get 100 kills with every gun in the game. The Bren, you know how like they level up the guns in this game, and then like at level 50 you'll have a challenge to do X challenge with these 3 attachments. Then at level 60 you have do this other challenge with these other 3 specific attachments. Well, on the Bren you have your 100 long shot challenge, and then after that you have 100 long shots with 3 specific attachments. And after that you have another challenge for 100 more long shots with 3 other attachments. So you can obviously do the normal long shots with one of those challenges, but you have to get minimum 200 long shots with the Bren. Let me tell you how that's going to be no fun for anybody. Like, literally no one's going to enjoy that. They keep adding all these, like, stupid playlists where they, kill box, for example, which no one knows what it is. They should make a new playlist called Long Shots, which is nothing but team deathmatch to 1,000 kills on Berlin. and make it so, like, if you're within, if you're outside the long shot, or inside, I guess. No, what would the term be? If you're too close, I guess. If you're too close and it's not going to count as a long shot, your bullets don't work. So basically, we're like World War I trench warfare with us on one side and the other team on the other side. And we all just do our stupid long shots because it's so dumb. Like, it takes so long to grind. It's pointless. It's not fun. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. The next question is going to be coming in from Jordan, who writes, Dear Nero, have you ever tried a Pokemon Nuzlocke, and if so, how did it go? I watched Jaden Animation's video on her Heart Gold Randomizer Nuzlocke, and I think you should try one. So Jordan, I picked up Pokemon Brilliant Diamond for the Switch, and since I never played Diamond or Pearl, I am going through it. I'm doing a Nuzlocke on it. It's been pretty fun so far. I don't know the names of these Pokemon, like Pachirichu, I have that. I've got Beautifly, I think it is. I think I have a Graveler. I just got a Ponyta, but I've lost a couple of people. I lost Haunter, which was sad. I lost Machop before he could even turn into a Machoke. First Pokemon I caught was a Bidoof, or Bidoof? I don't know how to pronounce it, but he died too. And then, help me out here, Starly. I think it's Starly, the bird, like the Pidgey equivalent, right? That evolved, and it was like very, very good. In fact, it was like sweeping things, and then it got one shot against the gym leader. I'm like, oh no! And so I lost that. So I've lost a number of Pokemon so far, but I have others, and I'm slowly making my way through the game. I haven't really been playing it a ton as of late because I'm streaming so often. Like, my day is packed every single day. Like, it's basically wake up, get food, work on videos, hang out with Courtney, come home and stream, go to sleep. Like, that's like, I don't really have free time all that much anymore. So definitely trying to get through the game, but it's going to take a while, I would imagine. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. And one day I want to do a randomizer Nuzlocke playthrough of Pokemon Red, just because, the Kanto region and the original Gen 1 and everything. It's always going to be my favorite because it's my childhood and I'm nostalgic for it. The next question is going to be coming in from Preston, who writes, Dear Nero, do you think that the newer Call of Duty monetization system has benefited Call of Duty at all? Sometimes I debate whether supply drops were a better system for people who don't spend after purchasing the game because you had at least a chance at better loot, and now it's not so much. Preston, I completely agree. I think I've discussed this in a couple of videos. I may discuss it more in future videos, but I definitely think at this point, supply drops, as long as weapons don't get put in there, may have actually been the better system, which I know it sounds like sacrilege, but hear me out on this. Right now, all the crazy, cool stuff in the game is in the shop, and it's minimum $20. That's how it goes. We get our DLC weapons for free on the Battle Pass or via challenges. That's fantastic, and we do get some cosmetics via the Battle Pass. That's also nice. But if you look back at a game like Call of Duty World War II or a game like Black Ops 4, where it was very easy to earn supply drops, at least then you had a chance to get some cool stuff, like stuff that would otherwise be completely relegated to the shop, right? So that, I can definitely see the argument for why supply drops would have been better, because back in Black Ops 4, especially after the end of the life cycle update where they made it so you could save up your 50 supply drops and purchase a DLC weapon, I mean, every day I would sign in, I'd check and see what was in the shop. I would have my supply drops saved up. I remember Ted, Ted, the bus driver from Transit, he's a Blackout character, and one day Ted was finally in my shop and I had the supply drop saved up, and boom, I got Ted. As compared to, blowing $20, I was able to save up my supply drops by doing my contracts and multiplayer zombies and Blackout every single day, and just saving up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of supply drops, and then checking my shop and seeing what was in there. You could get reactive camos out of the shop for just playing the game. You could get, and those reactive camos went on all your weapons, but you can do that. You can get Blackout characters, you could get mastercrafts, you can get actual weapons, you can get all sorts of cool stuff just for playing the game. And while I don't think that supply drops themselves are necessarily the best way of going about things, I do think a system where you can earn shop items by playing the game would be good. I mean, look back at the older games, right? Look at Black Ops 4 again as an example. When you get to the end of the Battle Pass, right, what would happen was every tier after that, you would just get a supply drop, like one single reserve case, right? And then you would save those up and then obviously buy your stuff with them. So what if they were to do something like every level after 200, which is when you hit Prestige Master in Vanguard and in Cold War and stuff. What if every level after 200 you got... I mean, they're not going to be generous with it, so we'll dumb it down here. What if you got 50 COD points per level? And so therefore, every 2 levels, you get 100 COD points. Every 40 levels, you get the equivalent of $20 that you can spend in the shop. So for getting, 40 levels after your Prestige Master, you essentially have, I hope my math is right on this, otherwise I'm going to sound stupid. But, for every 40 levels after you hit Prestige Master, you now have 2,000 COD points. And you can use those 2,000 COD points on a bundle in the shop. And therefore, you're earning cool stuff in the shop, but you're also grinding the game. Because, you're not just going to get to Prestige Master easy. It does take a while. It does take some grinding. So it rewards players for grinding. It brings up their audience retention. And they're not really losing anything because chances are the people that are going to be grinding and grinding and grinding like that, we're going to spend money anyways because they care more about the things that are actually in the game as compared to things that they have to purchase from the game. Right, so it seems like a win-win all around, but then again, we're talking about Activision Blizzard here, and I doubt it's ever going to happen, but I think that would be a pretty awesome system, and I'd love to know what you guys think about that down there in the comments. The next question is coming in from Captain Slush, who writes, Dear Nero, what was your very first console as a child? So my very first console was actually a Sega Genesis. I remember saving up for it because we were dirt poor growing up. I think me and my brother talked about that in the last Dear Nero. So I had to save up my allowance, got $5 a week. For just, feeding the dogs and doing chores around the house and stuff. And when I got to about halfway, my parents were like, we didn't think you would actually save up that money. You worked hard for it, and so you're going to get it. And so we ended up getting a Sega Genesis. I don't even think they even took my money. I think I was able to use my money. They bought the console, and I think I bought games, maybe. I can't remember. I was young. But some of the games I got Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I think there was a Mike Tyson's boxing in there. Or, no, it's George Foreman boxing, actually. WWF Royal Rumble, Streets of Rage 2. I'm trying to think here. There's definitely some other games that were there. But yeah, Sega Genesis was my very first gaming console. Me and my brother played it a lot, and it was lots of fun. And then from there, I ended up getting a Game Boy Color at some point. And then after that, a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. And then after that, I think we went from PS2. We didn't get to PS3. I think we went to the Xbox 360 because I still had a PS2. I didn't even have internet. But then one day, this is how I started with COD way back when, was I went over to my cousin's house and he had an Xbox, out of nowhere. I don't know how he got it. His mom got it for him or whatever. And he was playing Call of Duty 3 on the Xbox. And I'm like, whoa, this is like Medal of Honor, but it's online against other people. That's so cool. And that was a few months before Christmas of 2007. And so Call of Duty 4 came out that year. And so we begged and stuff like that, And so the big gift that year was me and my brother both got an Xbox 360 that we had to share and Call of Duty 4. And that's when I started playing online video games. And that's when I fell in love with the Call of Duty franchise. The next question, actually the final question for this week's episode of Dear Nero, is going to be coming in from Wyatt, who writes, do you believe that Twitch and the rise of live streaming has ruined the aspect of casual FPS gaming? It seems like everyone wants to be a popular streamer and be the most skilled. That has been most apparent to me with skill-based matchmaking. So Wyatt, I definitely think that's true. I think there's no going back from this. We live in an age where, and I'm saying this as a YouTuber, where everyone wants to be a YouTuber and everyone wants to be a live streamer. And why wouldn't they be? Because they're already gamers. They already like video games and playing games and stuff like that. Would you rather be a YouTuber that just plays and talks about their favorite video games for a living? Or would you rather go be a construction worker? Or would you rather go work in a pharmacy? Would you rather be deliver mail for the post office? I'm just naming jobs here, but would you rather do those things? Or would you rather stay at your house with your fancy gaming setup and live stream and play video games and stuff like that? It's pretty obvious, right? And the problem is, I think a lot of people feel as though their skill as a gamer is what will get them viewers. When's the last time, for example, you guys got into a Call of Duty lobby where you saw somebody that did not have Twitch TV in their name? Also, when's the last time you went to that person's channel because their name will be I'm just going to use your name, Wyatt TTV, and you go to twitch.tv/Wyatt TTV and you see, oh, Wyatt's got 10 followers, he's streaming to no one, and he's been live for 6 hours, and he's not even talking. Cool. People think that somehow, if they're just, crazy good at the game, that people are going to take notice. Here's the thing. That's not true. Because there's millions of people, and this is coming from, there are millions of people that are better than you. And I know that because there's millions of people there's trillions of people probably that are better than me at this point. Like, people care about your personality. People care about what you can bring to the table, like your opinions, your editing style, like the things that you do with your videos and with your streams and stuff like that. That's what people actually care about. They don't care how amazing you are at the game. Unless you're Shroud or Scumpy, no one cares, right? That's just how it's always been. You know, take it from me as someone who's been in the scene for 10 years. You do not have to be amazing at the game. And if you are, people don't really seem to care that much because, you know, it's a dime a dozen. You know, type in any gun, literally any gun that's in Vanguard on YouTube. Type in Bar, type in Bren, type in Mosin, type in anything, and then put V2 after it. There's thousands of videos. Thousands of V2 rockets being posted. People don't care, man. People don't care about insane gameplay. They care about other stuff. And, you know, people might be like, oh, you know, how do you grow? And I'm like, don't ask me. My channel's been stagnant for years, but my channel has been growing as of late with Vanguard, which is to be expected, I guess, because there's, you know, a new Call of Duty out. But also, I think it's really about the fact that I got into the game so early. I started my YouTube channel in 2011. You know, I was making YouTube channels or YouTube videos rather professionally before a lot of these TTV guys were like walking. You know, it just, that's how it is. And so I feel so I'm kind of like grandfathered in where people happen to remember me from Chem Strike Saturday or Moab Monday or Moab Friday or, you know, the Black Ops 4 videos or the Modern Warfare Remastered videos because me and Sour were pretty much the only people making videos on that game. Or, you know, they remember me from way back when and I'm just part of their routine now. And every now and then they sign into YouTube and they say, hey, I wonder what Nero's up to. Oh, Nero made a video. Let's see. You know, I think that's how it's been. How do I, you know, what would I recommend people do that are getting into streaming and YouTube? I don't know. And I think the thing is they don't know either. And they think that, you know, if they're just insanely good at the game and they blow, you know, thousands of dollars on an insane setup with a $500 controller and they snort G Fuel before every single match and, you know, they're sitting there slide canceling and jump shotting at 2:30 in the morning on a random Tuesday streaming to one person that somehow it's going to help, you know, make their dream come true, but it's not. I don't think it is. But I also, at the same time, like, I can't just be against something, I have to be for something else. I don't know how you grow on YouTube these days. I don't know. If I were just starting out, I have no clue what I would do. I guess I would make videos. I guess the thing would be like make videos that people want to watch, which I guess is the reason why I like doing news videos and stuff like that. Like, if you do guide videos, for example, like how to do this, how to do that, this, that, and the other thing, people tend to find that kind of a thing. And they search for it. And that's how people can actually find your channel initially. But I promise you, if you're just posting up random V2s and stuff like that, or, you know, look at my big MLG clutch with my golden STG 44, the only gun I ever use, I don't think people are going to care. I really don't. I think people care more about news and they care about, you know, tutorials and stuff like that as compared to, you know, you stroking your own ego using the best gun in the game with your $400 controller. But ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was a little bit long-winded for the last question, but I hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of Dear Nero. Christmas is just in a couple of days. Let's see. When is next Wednesday? Next Wednesday will be the 29th. All right, so that'll be right before New Year's. That'll be pretty cool. But we'll be talking about Christmas and stuff like that in next week's episode on Wednesday. Christmas obviously is going to be this Saturday, so next Wednesday I'll discuss my Christmas and what happened and stuff like that there in that video. But until then, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for listening. Feel free to become a member on the channel if you guys would like to. I just got approved for that as of late, and if you become a member, it's $5 a month, and it gives you the option to use different emotes and stuff like that I've uploaded, as well as you get this cool little World at War rank icon next to your name. Then every month that you're a member, the rank evolves up until you hit the Marine Raiders logo from World at War, which I think looks pretty cool. It shows up in the chat, and I see all your comments. Like, if you're a member, like, your comments, like, get fed to me pretty much. Like, I read all my comments on my videos, but also, like, they get, like, straight up fed on a different page to me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll definitely check these out. So, definitely a pretty cool system, I think. So, feel free to become a member if you guys want to, or not. It doesn't really, you know, help or hurt me any other way. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.